Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty crazy news when it comes to the $40 billion takeover in Saudi Arabia. When it comes to the next big games industry hub, we also have some other crazy big little gaming news to go and cover and wind down throughout the night. So we're going to go talk about this and mainly go and focus on the fact that there is going to be a brand new video game nation, apparently, that is now being developed, made, and invested into. It also kind of goes and stems into a lot of competitive esports, overall, like kind of pushing the Zoomer and younger audiences, things like TikTok, YouTube, and other influencers, and all trying to come together to go and somehow soften and basically grow the Saudi Arabian and Middle Eastern type, countries and expand out into the gaming universe. It's a very intriguing topic nonetheless, but I want to go talk about it because it's been kind of in the news as of today, and as well, there's not really that much other big gaming news to go talk about. So, I'm going to talk about this, and as well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, especially if you guys are from Saudi Arabia. If you guys aren't, that's totally okay. If you guys are bored, you can go hang out on the Twitch stream, which should be live down. If you guys are bored and want to hang out there, we have the Twitter down below. We have all the Amazon links too, and let's dive into the video itself. So as you guys may or may not know, if you want to make a lot of money in the world, you get some oil, and that's kind of been one of the bigger things we've noticed is that we have a lot of countries that definitely control a lot of the oil supply, and some folks are even rumored that some of these big, people who control these oil wells and everything else are some of the most profitable and richest folks in the entire planet. And that's a good thing until the oil goes and runs out, and that's kind of why we're trying to see a lot of these next big steps that seem to be developed and being pushed into, and surprisingly, gaming is actually one of them. So for Saudi Arabia is actually now about to go and invest $38 billion to establish a local gaming industry, and it's also planning to work alongside with these companies that this is investing into. And as well, kind of my take on this, they're trying to best to kind of reinvest into the global economy, global world, into, essentially make another industry for something and invest into where they think there's going to be a lot of long-term growth and development. So Saudi Arabian government now is reportedly planning to invest around $38 billion into the country's gaming industry. Most recently, the Saudi government increased its stake in Nintendo now to around 8.26%. So they own, rounding up to around 10% of Nintendo through the Public Investment Fund, the state's sovereign wealth fund, and also holds millions of shares in EA and also in Take-Two. So as you guys know, even when it comes to governments also like to invest into various infrastructure, various companies, or just basically have a chance to go throw their money into somewhere else. I think this is a very big deal to go look into and know. Because even America and other various things, like a good example, America, do you guys know, owns billions of dollars of Bitcoin? Do you guys even know that from them just kind of taking stuff and holding on to it? And, they just have a bajillion dollars worth of stuff. Or there's also other countries that will sometimes invest into things like in developing other different types of countries, or trying to go do trade deals or whatever it might be. Basically, countries are also just a huge business that people need to go take care of. So basically, the Savvy Gaming Group, a subsidiary of this public investment fund, hopes to work with the companies it's invested into to work together on publishing, and as I mentioned, to also run their esports business or develop brand new IPs together, that Savvy CEO Brian Ward told Bloomberg. So what they want to do is they want to kind of harvest into this younger audience. Maybe people like us, or maybe people who are 13, 14, or whatever, because they can see a game like a Fortnite, an Apex, a Call of Duty, or even things like, Nintendo's they even invested into, where can we just go bring a lot of long-term profitable money, and also a lot of stable money too as well. If you guys look at something like a Call of Duty, it's a pretty big growing industry, and every year or two, depending, they usually can go make a lot more extra money, and it kind of goes and helps and fund up the, government, the world, etc. And I think this is also why, because if you have these big businesses move to, let's say, a Saudi Arabia or other random countries, if they get big tax breaks, it would also probably incentivize them to want to have that as their main central hub. Or let's go and say they maybe get even government grants and funding to move over there, to build buildings, to go and hire folks, to kind of grow their economy even more. It's kind of smart. Now as well, we've also seen a lot of esports businesses where they want to go and foster this in here, because like I said, it's probably not going to happen anytime soon, but oil money will at some point run out. If we kind of focus a lot more on, let's say, electric stuff, don't necessarily need oil as much. Or as well, what if the wells dry up and you basically just don't have a longevity? So I kind of feel like that's just my political take on it. They want to have some sort of a long-term development unit that can make them money over time. Let's say you unironically literally own Epic Games and Unreal Engine as a government. Well, guess what? That means you're going to be having new income coming in all the time, making money off the taxes. Your economy is going to keep growing. And if you can somehow make $1 trillion business and you lose your $1 trillion oil wells, you're kind of okay with that, because long term, people will and probably will keep on enjoying video games and video game development, publishing, and everything else in between. So Savvy is looking a way to move away from the esports ventures or toward Bloomberg, and wants to focus more on inserting itself as a publisher and developer. Bloomberg reported that Savvy started a small studio years ago with 45 employees. The plan for the studio is to first develop a mobile game, then a console game, according to Ward. The government-owned company is also reportedly still planning to acquire a publisher. Bloomberg reported a budget of $13 billion for the acquisition. In September last year, the state announced it planned to invest $32 billion into the games industry, with $12 billion of that allotted to its budget for acquiring a publisher. Now, we've kind of seen a lot of different stuff too, like say maybe like an Ubisoft or like even an EA, because as you guys can see, they actually do own quite a bit of money when it comes to something like an EA. So if they want to go buy EA as a company, they could. That they unironically literally could, or at least have a majority stake on it, and then they technically own it, and they can even move that same entire game company over to places like Saudi Arabia, and like I said, foster up their own global economy. Ward also responded to allegations of sports washing. For example, its use of esports ventures as a means to improve a state's reputation. We have an executive team members of the LGBTQ community and women, Ward told Bloomberg, adding to the company would absolutely hire an LGBTQ or Jewish person to lead a game studio in Saudi Arabia. Now, this is going to look more like the political type side. I think that's cool. I mean, they're just trying to make everyone kind of accept to do whatever. I mean, like, I think a lot of people do have like a little bit of a negative stigma when it comes to places in like the Middle East or Saudi Arabia, etc. So, I mean, they're just trying to, I guess, trying to make the country look nice, try to grow up profitability, invest into video games. And at the end of the day, if that also gets us more video games, and ideally they do it in like in proper, nice ways, I think that seems okay. Like, I think. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be some guy in the comment section like, bro, this is bad, or blood money, or whatever. I mean, at least it seems like they're trying. I mean, definitely would have to see how it turns out to individual stories, employee stories, or whatever. But I mean, strategically and business-wise, I guess it makes sense. The increasing investments made into the games industry by Saudi Arabia continue to be controversial due to its poor human rights record, which kind of also stemming in right there, is that people are like, well, this is like bad money. You're making money off of like, you know, maybe things even like slavery or just bad like, you know, reputation or bad treatment of people. So people are a little bit skeptical and don't really want to maybe go dive into it. And I kind of feel like it's weird that they're even so invested in, say, like Nintendo, because, well, I feel like Nintendo tries to push like those really nice, wholesome Nintendo vibes and all that. I don't know, it's weird. So this also does have include the criminalization of homosexuality, fewer rights for women's, and the use of the death penalty, which some people are very, very controversial on. Crown Prince and the de facto ruler Mohammed bin Salman has also been blamed by the CIA for the assassination of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi. So, I mean, I'm just giggling on just like how like that went from like a 0 to 100 very quickly. But I mean, like, this is very serious issues because it is like a global, like, political type situation. So they're trying their best to, like I said, just want to invest a lot of money, try to grow up this gaming industry a lot in Saudi Arabia, and kind of go from there. So a very, very intriguing story, and I'd want to hear your thoughts and comments on this one, whether it's controversial or not. Just be respectful. It's very, very intriguing to see nonetheless. Now, we also have some pretty intriguing news over here, too, as well. Number one is in regards to Saints Row. In case you guys missed Saints Row, there actually is going to be a brand new update where they want to go and completely rehaul up all the combat for the game itself. A lot of folks were kind of skeptical and didn't really enjoy the whole game itself when it first came out. Kind of would make a little bit of sense. I kind of played it for like 2 days. It really wasn't the original Saints Row. Definitely could have been a little bit better, but what can I say? We also did go have Devolver Digital doing a brand new acquiree of DoinkSoft. Funny enough, because I want to say like DoinkSoft was maybe, I could be completely wrong. I was want to say that actually might have been a Donkey's thing. I could be completely wrong, though. So basically, known for Gato Roboto, which I actually did play that game. It was actually very cool. Very Metroidvania. Never played Demon Throttle or Gunbrella, but I have actually played one of these games out here. So it does kind of seem, once again, we're still seeing game companies that are getting profitable games and doing well on the publishing side, actually getting and making and receiving games, which I think is very, very cool. So Devolver is once again also making its way all around. Now, in case you guys also missed this too, we had some really big news when it came to Capcom. Capcom now is one on a massive tear for God knows why, and it's just been flowing. The economy's been very, very kind of in shambles as of per recently, I'm sure you guys have probably seen. But for some odd reason, Monday in Japan, Capcom stock now is at its highest it's ever been as of right now at over 4,850 yen. So it kind of seemed like some of these big gaming giants are still doing phenomenal and still doing very well, and I'm very happy to see them still doing, well, such a good job. As well, last but not least, we actually are now seeing kind of cool stuff too when it comes to Star Wars Jedi, like the brand new game coming out very soon. So far, it does seem like there's a lot of really intriguing PlayStation 5 features, in case you guys care about that at all. And as well, they always have a chance to like adjust some of like the adaptive feedback and also the triggers and having more of like the Jedi Force and pull kind of integrated into all of these systems. I think it's very, very nice and very, very cool to get to go and see this and witness this at the end of the day. And I do like the fact that we're seeing so much more of this integration with these brand new PlayStation accessories. If you guys also missed it too, we also saw the brand new accessibility options on our video before. If you guys want to check that out now, Or as well, if you guys are bored, go hang out on the Twitch stream if you guys are bored as well. We also have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to subscribe with the notifications on. Would love to have you guys here. And of course, we also leave a like, and all the usual sell links like the Amazon links are all down below. We'll see you guys up tomorrow for more brand new videos. And you guys have a fantastic day, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.